Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our broadcast today. We're here to talk about Poushawn Brown, an Amazon worker who died suddenly in early January after months of working at an Amazon warehouse where she was made to conduct COVID-19 testing for other workers without giving appropriate or adequate PPE. So I'm thrilled to be here today, not because the topic of Amazon brings me any reprieve or brings anyone any reprieve, but because we have with us Tina Brown, who's going to talk to us about the story of her sister, Poushawn Brown, and how their family has dealt with the aftermath of Poushawn's death, and in particular, how Amazon has responded. So today's event is called, I want to make sure I get the title. When Death Comes Suddenly, Amazon, COVID-19, and Justice for Poushawn Brown. I should note before we start that we have an ASL interpreter with us who will be with us for the entirety of the event. And we have a live captioner who is just able to join us. So we're glad to have them with us as well. And there's a bit of an echo, so that's why I'm pausing on occasion. For those of you who need ASL interpretation as well as live captioning, please do view this video on YouTube. You can, however, open the link that we've provided for live captions, open it in a separate screen, and it should work if you place it below the screen you're using, regardless of whether it's Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. In addition, if you have any questions, please feel free to write a comment on any of the platforms and we will try to get to them. So let's get going on this chat with Tina Brown, who is our guest today, and again, who is the sister of Poushawn Brown, an Amazon worker who died suddenly after months of working at Amazon conducting COVID-19 testing. And the reason we chose today to talk with Tina is because, as many of you know, Amazon is holding its annual Prime Days. Yesterday was the first day. Today is the second. And for those of you who've seen Amazon lately, who've gone to the website, for those of you who purchase things from Amazon, Amazon has been marketing its, quote, sort of deals and steals. what are the deals and steals they're talking about? They are not, of course, talking about the steals they've gotten, whether it's $800 million of incentives from local and state Virginia government, nor are they talking about the massive amounts of profits that the corporation has earned throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. They are also not talking about the surveillance that they utilize on their workers to keep them working at a very high rate that has unfortunately caused many workers to get injured on the job. In fact, the injury rate at Amazon is much higher than the industry average. Suffice it to say that Amazon has been a very destructive corporation in Virginia, where the For Us Not Amazon coalition is based. And so today, we are going to talk again with Tina Brown, who will give us a sense of what happened to her sister. My name, for those of you who don't know me, is Dr. Maha Hilal, and I am the co-director of Justice for Muslims Collective, as well as a member of the For Us Not Amazon coalition. And I will provide some resources at the end and encourage you, before we start this broadcast, to look at the link below the screen that's scrolling on the screen to help support Tina Brown's family. And I hope that you can donate as much as you can, especially after you hear the harrowing story of Poushawn Brown and the many struggles that her family has endured after Poushawn's death. So I want to thank you, Tina, for being here with us today. Tina is driving right now. That's why she's off screen. But Tina, I know you've had the very painful task of relaying the story of what happened to Poushawn many times. But I'm wondering if you could kind of tell us once more, for those of us, for the audience members who have not heard the story, especially on a day where Amazon Prime is selling the deals and steals. So can you talk to us a little bit about what happened to Poushawn and how your family has fared afterwards?
Hi, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so sorry. It's kind of going in and out, but I just want to thank everybody for everything, all the support, the emails, the text messages. First of all, I'll say this is that the deals and stills, that just physically made me sick. It's disgusting. Um, for a company that is $1 trillion company, um, to have had a worker that was doing COVID testing, that was not trained, was not a doctor nor a nurse. She had no business administrating tests. And for me to hear today that they are deals and stills, like, uh, uh, it's hurtful and it's disgusting, especially the fact that my sister worked for that company for 4 years. My sister died working for that company, and no one has reached out to me, my mother, our family, or anything. And still to this day, I haven't heard anything from Amazon. What I did get from them was a 2 month, 4 week, I'm sorry, 5.5 week free counseling that expired. I was issued that in February the 18th through email, and it expired in April. Um, hmm, 2 months. I don't even know if it was 2 months. I would say 5.5, 6 weeks of counseling for um, somebody that has passed that was so young. Um, that's disgusting. I remember before when I was speaking to everyone and they were calling, and I was so, I was so hurt, so hurt, so upset. I wanted to know why this happening. Now I see the commercials. I hear everything. I see other workers that are there that have, um, you know, passed out, dropped dead. It's the summer now. There's no air conditioning in the warehouses. Um, I just think it's disgusting. And not only is it disgusting, um, that this man is a trillionaire and he had a young female, single mother, COVID testing, drop dead. No one calls, no one sends anything. They called, but they called to find out why she wasn't at work. Um, Nobody paid for any funeral. Nobody paid for um, any doctor bills. No one paid for anything for her child. No one has sent anything to us. And that he's making what, $1 billion in the next 2 days, or close to $1 billion in the next 2 days, yesterday and today. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Um, my sister was so young. She had the best heart in the world. She never said no to anyone. She came in there and she started off a driver at Amazon. And she came in there and she worked every position in that warehouse. She started off driving and she worked at Amazon till the day she died. She went to work that Thursday, and that Friday morning she never woke up. Um, hmm, um, she was my baby sister, so I mean, I talked to her at least 20 times a day. I mean, I used to work there, so everything, we would see each other at work. When I was coming to work, she would be getting off, and there was times where she would stay late. She would come in, and I would say, "Why? Why are you doing that?" Oh, because they asked me this and that. They didn't care. They don't appreciate that. Well, I gotta do this, Chris. I wouldn't. I didn't care. They treat you like slaves there. And I had talked to Danny, I think a week ago, and it was just, um, my heart just dropped to hear what these people are going to have to go through yesterday and today in a hot warehouse. Hot. If it's 90 degrees outside, you better believe it's 100 to 110 degrees in that warehouse. Now, when we worked there, they didn't have air conditioner, so I'm not sure if they have air conditioner now. But not to mention there was COVID testing inside. She was COVID testing inside. No gloves, no mask, no white coat, no nothing. Um, it angers me because I feel like this is how I feel. I feel like my sister worked enslaved for this man's company, not for one, not for two, but for 4 years, and they didn't even give a goddamn phone call. They didn't give anything. Um, I got a lot of emotions because I have her child, my mom, who at one point in March we didn't think she was going to make it. Um, My mom, she is beyond depressed about this. She just lost her mom. We lost my grandmother about 6 months before my sister died. And then 6 months later, she lost her daughter, her baby daughter. So, um, you know, I don't know. It's beyond painful because her birthday's coming up. It was a Mother's Day gone by. I'm just never gonna see her again. Um, I think what hurts the most about it is this: is that nobody ever called, investigated, did anything, and not to mention that every time I see a commercial, every time I see a van, every time I see a truck, and I hear his name, it disgusts me. It disgusts us because worked to death, slaved to death, and you didn't even care. They don't care. I know now that they don't care because it's been January, February, March, April, May, June. It's been almost 6 months. Nobody didn't reach out and do nothing. And I know that they know because they watch, they hear, they were watching and hearing it. That's how they sent me the email with the 2 months of counseling. And I know that they have the best lawyers and the best, team, best reps working for them. So I don't know if they thought that only 2 months of counseling for someone that you've been with, that was your blood your whole life, you're going to get over it, especially her daughter. 2 months of counseling. So I know that they hear and I know that they watch is because when I did a interview before, they were watching and they sent notification that they were gonna give uh, from the 18th of February to the end of April counseling. And if they're watching and they hear this, then what if that was your sister, if that was your daughter, if that was your mother, and you're going along like everything's okay? Not to mention that she was not a doctor. She never been to med school. She signed up to be a packer, never to do COVID testing. She was not certified or qualified to be COVID testing. She was not. She had no business doing that. Those people in that warehouse had no business doing that. She was trained by another employee there to do COVID testing. She had no business doing that. And Jeff Bezos has trillions of dollars. He could have hired nurses, doctors. He could even set up a shop to do COVID testing. Why? Why her? And not to mention that that these people were in there illegally COVID testing. And the fact that somebody died, you don't even reach out. You don't even care to figure out what happened. You don't even send anything. You don't even call. You don't even write. You don't even show up. Disgusting. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I had a company. If I had a company and I was doing something there that was illegal and everybody knew it was illegal, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night because I would have blood on my hands, and I know that I would have blood on my hands that somebody has died working for my company that was in that warehouse doing something illegal that they had no business doing. But I think he's on the way to the moon, or he's going to the moon, right? So I guess he don't have time to care or even think about it because I guess him and his brother are going to the moon. So, um,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's disgusting. It's not too much that I can say. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I've reached out at the last rally we had. I told someone from Amazon to get in touch with me. I guess I'll have to just get in touch with them, and I will, because if you think that you're gonna have, I don't care about. I mean, whatever you do with anyone, what you do with your business and your other companies, but you have my sister inside your working for your company, and she was not a fly by night employee. She worked for your company. She slaved for your company for 4 years, and you had her in there doing illegal COVID testing, and she is no longer here, and you don't think you're gonna have to answer to that? I'm so sorry. Sorry. No, we're gonna talk. We're gonna sit down and have a talk.
Tina, I know that
Uh,
obviously there's nothing that
I mean, that's my
anyone,
thoughts on it.
right. So, I mean, obviously, this is a huge loss for your family. And unfortunately, right, there's nothing we can do to bring Poushawn back. So I'm wondering, what would, for you and your family, is there anything that would even begin to feel like justice? And if so, what would that look like?
I appreciate the love and the support that everybody, especially you and Danny, Chris, Jordan. I mean, the emails, the text messages. I appreciate the love and support, but I want justice for my sister. I want justice for my sister. I want justice from Amazon, and if that means, I mean, what do you? I mean, I, I, I want what she deserves. I want what she deserves because at the end of the day, if if somebody comes to my house and they drop dead at my house, I'm gonna have to answer to the police. I'm gonna have to ask questions. So I'm gonna have to answer to somebody. Somebody's gonna get called about it. Something's gonna happen, right? Somebody's gonna have to pay for something, right? So at the end of the day, I want justice for my sister, and I'm willing to talk to Amazon if they want to sit down and they want to talk whatever they want to do, but they gonna have to answer for this. And I want to know, do they think that it's fair? Do they think that it's right? What if it was their daughter? What if it was their child? What if it was their mother? I mean, they gonna have that. She got a daughter. She has a daughter. I have custody of her daughter. I'm taking care of her daughter. So
Right.
I want justice for my sister, and whatever means comes with that. That's what I want, and I'm gonna get it.
Have you, Tina, been able to talk to,
I'm gonna get it.
um,
It's not
yeah,
fair and it's
we
not right.
hope, right, it's not right. And, we hope that we can support you however we can to help you get justice. And so, I'm wondering if you've talked to any workers or the families of workers who have been through anything similar, and have what have they been able to get? Have they been able to get anything, or is it, have they had the same experience as you, where Amazon
Um,
basically stonewalls them?
I talked to some workers.
Oh, Tina, I think you're on mute.
I've talked to some workers. They sent me the videos. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
They
you
sent
now.
me the videos, and I've talked to workers at different warehouses. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I talked to the workers at the warehouse. They're the ones who sent me the videos, and they told me the information who was they told me the information who was training my sister. And keep in mind, I used to work at Amazon, so I know.
Right,
I I'm the one who got my sister a job there, like a big
right.
dummy, you know. Um, I've talked to workers that worked at the warehouse where my sister worked at, and I talked to workers that worked at several different warehouses. And
Hmm.
I have the videos and the pictures of my sister.
The signal went out a little bit. I'm not sure if you can still hear me. So let's wait a second to see if Tina regains the signal. But while we're waiting, hopefully, for Tina to rejoin, we did want to note that Poushawn Brown's family, led by Tina, has put up a fundraiser for their family. Obviously, Poushawn was a breadwinner for the family and did have a daughter. And so it is very hard, of course, not only to lose Poushawn, but also to, contend with the financial consequences. Tina, are you back?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep. So I just
Okay.
want to note that the link at the bottom, bit.ly support the Brown family case sensitive. Please go to that site. It's a GoFundMe campaign, and donate what you can to help this family out because they're really struggling, as Tina has told us many times.
I'm so sorry. Question you had asked me before the phone went out. Yes, I've talked to some of the workers at the warehouse, and I've talked to workers that worked at other warehouses. I've spoken to some workers in Baltimore, Alabama, New York, and I'm not sure. I can't remember, and I definitely don't want to get. I've spoken to workers even on the West Coast in the Midwest, so um, I know for sure that it's pretty much the same thing at all the warehouses. I mean, they know about my sister. They've called about my sister. They sent condolences about my sister. Um, you know, it's
Right.
just.
Tina,
But the workers at the warehouse that my sister worked at, to answer your question, I did
mhm,
speak to them. They did send me pictures and videos of my sister COVID testing, and like I said, I used to work there, so I already know.
right. And was this in Loudon,
No, this was in DD3 in Springfield.
Springfield? Okay. Um, I'm assuming you haven't had any contact with Amazon, like sort of like
No,
they never contacted you.
no, the only contact that I had with them is when the only contact I had with them is when they called me, when they didn't call me, but after I did one of the interviews with one of the reporters, they emailed me and they told me, they asked me, did they offer any counseling or anything like that. The reporter was asking me that they didn't even offer grief counseling for you, your mom, and her daughter. And I said no. They asked me if they offer any money. I said no. So I guess they skipped over the money part and was like, we're going to get you counseling. They sent me an email and said, we're going to get you and the family counseling for the next 6 weeks. Well, it was like the February. It was like for like between 6 to 8 weeks. So like the February the 18th through the end week of April.
Um,
So
you
they
know
were
what?
listening to one of the interviews that I had did with one of the reporters.
Mm,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so that's the only contact that I have, and it was just an email. They didn't. It was no conversation. It was no nothing. It was just, we're offering you. We're gonna give you the 2 months of counseling that ends. The end of April.
Wow. How is Pashan's daughter doing?
You know what? Even before this happened, she's such a happy girl. She's such a happy girl. She looks at her mom's pictures every day. We look at them every single day. We got videos because they would take videos together. And you know, she misses her mom.
Yeah.
She misses her mom. We all miss my sister. She that was her mom. That was her mom. That was her own. That was my sister's only child. They slept in the same bed together. I mean, that was her baby.
Yeah.
You know, she always said my mom is the only one who understood me. She misses her mom.
Right. Of course.
She says
So.
that she can't look at her pictures or videos anymore. It hurts her, but I still look at them. But that's what she told us on Friday. And I mean, it's gonna hurt because, you know, this is everything. Like she had her first Mother's Day without her mom. She
Mm,
had her first Easter without her mom. All of these things are coming up, and she's without her mom, and she's been with her mom her whole life. So, you know, it's unbearable pain.
I
I mean,
can't
I
even
lost my
imagine.
grandmother. My
Hmm.
grandmother, she had dementia, but the doctors were telling us, she was not going to make it. And they even to the last minute told us she probably only has a week left, 2 weeks left. But my sister, it was just so sudden. Like
Right.
she just didn't wake up, and she went to work that day, and she worked, and she tested about, I think she tested maybe, she had a couple COVID tests that day that she did because I was on the phone with her, and
Hmm.
then she worked. She got home at about 7:30,
Hmm.
and then the next morning she woke up to get my niece ready for school and gave her breakfast, and she laid down and she never woke back up. So, you know, um, you know, I talk to her. I talk to her every single day. Like every single day, at least 20 times a day. Like every
Right.
single day. You know, the day that she died, we were going to go to the furniture store. It was
Mm.
on a Friday because she was off on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
So
Wow, Tina. I'm so sorry, and I know we have a lot of us in the Virginia area that want to support you and want to be there for you and challenge Amazon alongside you. And so, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but are there any ways that we can support you in your fight for justice for Amazon?
um I definitely think that, I mean, of course, it's just that nobody's not going to stop, you know, ordering and buying from Amazon. And I'm not asking people to do that at all. I'm just asking people to look at what happened with my sister and look at the treatment of their employees, because the employees are the ones who build the company, who move the company, who how they get their packages and how they get their orders. Look at what happened. Jeff Bezos had workers in there COVID testing, illegally COVID testing, and they were not even qualified to do that. They were not doctors or nurses. They were not
Mm,
medical professions at all. And the
right.
CDC says
Oh no, it looks like we lost her again momentarily, hopefully.
out. So how is this okay? So when folks are ordering their packages and everything, I'm not saying don't shop at Amazon, because I'm just a little person. It's going to take way more than me to block Amazon's money and stop Amazon's money. But I definitely want you to think about my sister. I definitely want you to think about her going there as a single mother and working and being a stacker, that she was testing COVID testing 19. And she
Right.
died. She suddenly died. My sister was a healthy person. She had no health issues. She died. And when I reached out to them and asked for money for help for the autopsy of the funeral, they told me they would get back to me. This is $1 trillion company. They would get back to me. They have blood on their hands. So I definitely want people to get the story around. Don't forget about my sister. Support, donate, go to the GoFundMe as much as you can, because I am going to sit down and I am going to have talk with Amazon, and they know that. They should just come to me before I have to come to them, because all this is doing is making me more angry, more hurt, and more mad. Because now I feel like I'm begging for something. I'm praying and hoping, begging for something that I should not. My sister had no business COVID testing. She was not a doctor. She was not a nurse. She was not a trained medical professional at all. She never went to medical school. She
Right.
didn't even do classes. She didn't even do. She wasn't registered for that. She didn't do none of that. So you know
Right.
that you had her at your company illegally doing COVID testing. If it was me and if it was my company, I would be like, oh my God, what is it that I can do? She has a daughter.
Right.
Let me get her taken care of. Let me make sure she has a college. Let me make sure everything is set up. Your sister was a single mother. Let me make sure. Because my mom is not doing well. In March, the doctor said that my mom wasn't going to make it. Now we're into June.
Mm,
So, I mean, thank God she's still here. But they don't understand what this has cost. Like, if something happens to my mom, this is the result of her losing her child.
right.
Like, it's not right. It's not right. He knows that he was in there. He knows that he had people illegally COVID testing. And if we're
Right.
gonna be, if we wanna be right, then let's be right. He was having workers illegally COVID testing. They had no business performing, administrating, or demonstrating COVID testing at all. They
Right.
came there to put packages up, stock packages, and put bags away and load trucks. They had no business cold testing, swabbing, or anything like that. And if you were going to do that, you are the richest man in the world. Why did you not have her in the proper protection she was supposed to be in?
Right.
So at the end of the day, I want everybody not to forget about my sister. I want them to continue to remember her. And like I said, I'm not trying to take anything from Amazon, because I'm just a little teeny person. I will never be able to do that. My family will ever never be able to do that. But they took something away from us. And at the end of the day, I need answers, and we need to sit down and we need to have a talk. So at the end of the day, if they want to come to me, if I need to come to Seattle, whatever, we need to have a talk. It's not fair and it's not right.
It's
And
definitely
he should
not
know
right.
that. And they know that.
I'm so sorry, Tina, that your family had to suffer. And, Amazon obviously does not administer justice in most or any cases at all. of workers' rights and worker abuse. And so, I know this is going to be a long fight, and I also know that we will continue to fight alongside you, because it's not fair. It's not okay that Poushawn had to die and for your family to suffer because of a corporation that doesn't want to take responsibility. So, for those of you who have been following the For Us Not Amazon Coalition, Justice for Muslims Collective, La Colectiva, Surge Nova, you can find a bunch of information about Amazon and their practices and, lack of accountability in the Virginia area on our social media channels. So we encourage you to look at that. We also do have a graphic that we would appreciate you sharing, in particular, that is asking for donations for the Brown family. So again, please, please, please donate what you can, especially if you are purchasing things from Amazon. This is definitely a good way to offset the harm that this corporation has caused. So we will continue lifting up Poushawn and Tina, your family, and you're with us. You're in our hearts and minds, and we do the work because we don't want people to suffer the way your family has suffered. And so we know that this is a long-term fight and again, that we want to be alongside you in. So you know where to find us. And for everyone else, please, 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 again, donate. In the email I personally sent from Justice for Muslims Collective, there's more information about Poushawn's story, and also of Tina speaking to a journalist. So please check that out. And please just continue to use today, the last Prime Day, perhaps for the year, but who knows, because Amazon does whatever it wants, to really raise awareness and uplift the many, many, many abuses of this corporation. And with that, I think we'll close. But again, please lift up whatever you can on social media. There are a number of hashtags: Prime Day, Amazon, Protect Amazon Workers, Eyes on Amazon, and Amazon Hers. So check those out. And we hope to see you soon. And we will be in touch with updates about our work to challenge Amazon, in particular in the DMV region. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And with that, I hope you have a good evening. Thank you, and take care.